Yes, good morning to all. And students are still joining. So, and 22 participants till now. Okay, we will start. Okay, just put a message in the group and tell them to join. Okay, yesterday, we were discussing how to do the web scraping in Python. That is, how to get the content of the web pages, or how to download a resource from the URL to your local system, and then especially how to do the HTML processing. So using the Beautiful Soup, that is what you people understood. So these are few things what we understood in the previous class. Okay, one second. And then you understood how to use URL lib request. Okay, and downloading something from the internet and then processing on it. Okay, so this is what we understood. And then how to do the HTML parsing using the regular expression. Okay, that is what we understood initially. So extracting all the links from the given URL by writing a regular expression, and then later we understood how to do the same thing by using the Beautiful Soup library. Okay, this was the example that we understood in the previous class. This again does the same thing, same as this program, which was written using the regular expression. Now you can do it more beautifully without using the regular expression, just by using the library, the Beautiful Soup, and you can go for extracting all the links which are there inside the anchor tag, href attribute of the anchor tag. And then you also understood how to read the binary files using the URL lib. So this was the cover3.jpg I showed you people. Okay, so which is downloaded. We are reading it in the form of a byte stream. It gets stored into IMG, all the bytes, then opening the file cover3.jpg in write binary format, and then we wrote it into it. And the file also I opened and showed you. It was there inside the D drive in the folder DW. Okay, so now this previous program, I think we understood till here in the previous class. So this program, okay, works well as long as the size of the binary file which you are saving is less than the size of the main memory available in your computer. In case if the size of the binary file which you are trying to save is more than the size which is available, size of the main memory available in your computer, so this will not work. Okay, so this method will fail. Okay, now how to deal with such things? So you got to do the checking, before saving it. So what we are doing, I am opening the URL, which is containing cover3.jpg by using URL open, then writing it. Now size, so I am trying opening the file cover3.jpg in the WP mode, and I am getting the fn. And before I go for writing, so I run a while loop. I just read img.read so many bytes of info, and I check the length of the info. If it is less than 1, I break. Otherwise I keep adding the size. Okay, and then finally I go for writing. Now what this will do, now this will go for writing until the memory is full, and once the memory is full, the process is stopped. The the process is going to stop. So this is what you can do. So if there is a large audio or video file, this program may crash or at least run extremely slow when your computer runs out of the memory. So in order to avoid running out of memory, we retrieve the data in blocks and then write each block to the disk before retrieving the next block. So this way the program can read any size file without using up all the memory you have in your computer. So this works on a block by block basis. Instead of reading all the bytes of the binary file and saving it onto the main memory, what it does it in a block by block manner. Okay, so the same thing is written here. We are going to write so many bytes at once to the main memory and not more than this. Even if the size of the binary file which you are trying to save to your computer from the internet, if it is more than this, so it is not going to happen in a single stretch. Instead it is going to happen in multiple iterations. Okay, so this is what the defensive check which you can use to prevent the earlier error what we understood, the problem what we understood. Okay, next is web scraping. I've already told you in the previous class. Now, so web scraping modules. So the basic modules are the web browser, which you understood in the previous class until now, comes with a Python and opens a browser to a specific page. So using this web browser module, you can go for opening the browser to a specific page. Any URL you pass, it opens to that page. So request is another module which is available, which you can use in order to download the files and web pages from the internet. Okay, so next we'll be discussing how to use. Till now you understood, I think web browser we used. Yeah. So till now you understood how to use the URL lib. So next we are going to understand how to use the web browser request. Beautiful Soup, I have shown you already how to use the Beautiful Soup for parsing the HTML, and the Selenium. Okay, so launches the control of a web browser. Selenium is able to fill in the forms and simulate the mouse clicks in the browser. So these are all the modules which we'll be discussing for doing the web scraping. Now we'll start with this web browser module now. Okay, so mapit.py with web browser module. See, we are going to create a Python program now with the name mapit.py using the web browser module. Okay, so this is the program which we are going to write now. Okay, now and in this program we are going to use the web browser module. Okay, now what this web browser module does. Okay, this web browser module's open function. Inside this web browser there is a open function. Using this open function, you can go for launching a new browser to a specific URL. Okay. Say for example, so I want to open this. You can simply, I just want to open this URL. You can easily do it. Import web browser, webbrowser.open this. So let me execute and show you this. Excuse me for a while. Okay. Now we'll see this, how it works. So I've imported the module web browser. Now I go for, say I just want to open this inventwithpython.com. So true, it returned me true. Why? Because this is existing. On a success status code, it returns me true, and you can see the browser is opened and I have invent with python.com opened. So people understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many are there? Only 29. Why? So we imported the web browser, and using this web browser.open method, so I just tried opening this URL, so the return value from the open is true, and then so you can see the browser got automatically launched and we have it open for us. Okay. So this is what. So web browser module. So using this web browser module, you can go for opening any specific URL in a new browser. Okay. Now when I executed it, a web browser tab will open to the URL this. Okay, and this is what the web browser module can do. Okay. And so this much the web browser can do, but a lot more can be done by the open function. Okay, so open function does make more interesting things possible. For example, say I want to open some address, street address in the Google Maps. Now what is that I'll do? So first I need to copy the street address and then open the Google Maps, and in the places search field I need to put my address, and then I have to click on the search. Okay, so that is the example. It's tedious to copy the street address to the clipboard and bring up a map of it on the Google Maps. Okay, so first I copy the street address, I open my browser, and after opening my browser I just say Google Maps. Google Maps gets opens, and to locate my street address, I'll be placing my address in what? The text box, and then I have to click on the search or locate. Okay, this is what the sequence of operations or the steps I do in order to locate something on the Google Maps. Now you can avoid a few steps out of this task by writing a simple script to automatically launch the map on your browser using the contents of your clipboard. Okay, so this tedious process what we are doing in order to locate something on the Google map can be avoided just by writing a simple script. What script? The Python script. So this way you only have to copy the address of the clipboard and run the script. The map will be loaded for you. Okay, so what we do now, see, we are just simply going to copy the street address. Say for example I have some street address present inside my document, I'll just go for copying it. I select it, I perform the copy something like this. Assume this is some street address, I copy it, and after copying what I'll do is I'm just going to run my script. I'll run my Python script. The moment I run my Python script, it will automatically take the street address that I've copied to the clipboard, and it is going to launch the browser and open the Google Maps and locate the address on the Google Maps for me. So, and this tedious process what I was doing in order to locate something on the Google Map can be avoided. Lot of steps can be avoided. So people understood what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now how to do that we will see now. This is what our program does now. I was saying we got to write a program, the Python script, which will reduce this tedious job of opening some address on the Google Maps. Okay. Now why we say it is a tedious job? Because so first I need to copy the street address, then you got to manually launch the browser. After launching the browser, you got to type and open the Google Maps on your browser, and after opening the Google Maps, you have to paste the street address that you have copied, and which you want to locate. So paste it, and then after pasting, you got to click on locate. Now this is what I'm saying as the tedious process, and this can be avoided, and majority of the steps what we are doing here can be avoided by writing our own Python script, which makes use of the web browser module. Okay. Now how and what our program is going to do? Now the program what we write now, so can also be made to operate in two modes. One is get the street address from the command line arguments or clipboard. Now what is a clipboard? So the moment I just select something and copy, where it goes to the clipboard. Okay. And from the clipboard, I make my Python script to access the content that I've copied and automatically launch the Google Maps and locate the street address for me. So the other way is, you can go for copying the street address. Say for example, I have some street address, I just copy this and I'll be pasting them as the command line argument to my Python script. And I run my Python script, so the browser is automatically launched, and it will open the Google Maps, and automatically it will also go for putting the street address and locate the location for you. Okay. So that is what we will be seeing now. Okay. Opens the browser to the Google Maps page for the address. So only two things are there. Okay. So either you can go for doing it by using the command line arguments or by doing it using the clipboard, and the rest will be done by your Python program. What you all need to do is just copy the street address which you want to locate and put it in the command line arguments to the script, or just copy it to the clipboard. Okay, and the rest all will be done by your Python script. And this means your code will need to do the following. What are the things that my program should do now? Read the command line arguments from sys.argv. I hope all of you are aware of the command line arguments. So even the C program also you can run by giving the necessary input from the command line. Now when you want to make your C program get the input from the command line, so to the main function you have to write two arguments. Now what are those? Hello? So please respond. What are those arguments which will be passing? Yeah, what are those arguments which will be passing to the main in the C program to get the command line arguments? Argument count and argument vector. OP people remember that. I don't know whether you studied it or not.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Argument count and argument vector. What is argument count? It holds the count of the command line arguments, and argument vector, it holds the command line arguments itself. And something similar in Python can be done by using sys.argv, argument vector. Now what is the sys? Sys is the name of the module, and argv is the one which is present inside this module and which is going to hold all the command line arguments which you pass to a Python script. Okay, so that is what my program should do now. And other one is read the clipboard contents. Okay, so say for example, if I just say select this and say copy, so now whatever I have copied, it will be there in the clipboard. My program should go for reading it. Okay, and again for that there is a module and there is a method for getting the content from the clipboard module. We'll look into that. And after doing this, either of these two you can do or both you can do. Okay, so call the web browser.open function, and it opens the web browser, and it will automatically get the street address either from the command line argument or from the clipboard, and it is going to locate the location for you on the Google map. So this is what we are going to learn now. Yeah, just look into this. First, what you got to do is open a new file editor window and save it as mapit.py. Okay, mapit.py. Now to run this program, okay, so that means I'm going to create a program with the name mapit.py, and then my program, the program which I create mapit.py, I should go for executing it something like this. Okay, map it as my program, and this is what the command line argument I'm giving. Now what is this? This is the address of some street. Now I don't know whose address is this. Maybe the address of the author who has written the Python book. Okay, San Francisco CA 94110. This is the address, and this is what we are trying to locate on the Google map now. Okay. Now when I run my program, finally map it by passing this as the argument. So my program should go for taking this argument, launch the browser, which is opened with the Google Maps URL, and automatically it should go for locating this location also. Okay. Now, so this is what, so the running the program is totally different. Earlier I was running the program from the Spider IDE. Now we won't be running the program from the Spider IDE. Instead I would like to run the program on the command line now. Okay. Now how do we run the program at the command line? Okay, there are a few things which you got to do. So running the program at the command line, this is what is explained in the appendix B, and it is easy also. You need not go through the appendix B, but I have put in the PPT. So if you have the program open in the integrated development environment file editor, running it is simpler. So this is what is the IDE. Spider is the IDE. So I have my program here. Running it is very easy. What is that I do? I just click on the run. It starts running. Now this is an easy way. Running the programs from an IDE is an easy way because it reduces the lot of burden. There are more convenience ways to execute the Python scripts. So now how do we run the Python scripts at the command line? So we have something called as shebang line, so which is the line usually written for all the scripting scripts what we write. Say for example, I'm writing a VB script. I can have a shebang line specified. It should be the first line and the first character should start. Okay, and then even when you're writing the Perl scripts, we add the shebang lines, something like this. So the first line of your Python program or any scripting language should be a shebang line, which tells your computer that you want the Python to execute this program. So the shebang line what you write, it's going to instruct the computer or the operating system from where this program can be executed, or using what this program can be executed. So when I'm writing a Python program and if I want to execute a Python program, so the Python interpreter is necessary. So now that can be informed by using this shebang line, and the shebang line always begins with this symbol # followed by an exclamation. Usually in Python, anything which you write by using this symbol is taken as a command, but the first line will not be considered as a command, and it will be considered as a shebang line which contains the name of the interpreter from where the Python program should be executed. Okay. Now how do we write the shebang line? So the shebang line in the Windows operating system is written something like this. That means the very first line of your Python script should be something like this, and on the OS X it is something like this, and on the Linux it is something like this. Okay, and you will be able to run the Python scripts from IDE without the shebang. So when you are writing or executing directly the Python programs from an integrated development environments like the Spider, so this shebang line is not necessary, and hence so for the programs what we executed till now, we never wrote the Pythons, and this program it is there. You can notice, see, the shebang line is present. That means, so even if you add it here, nothing will happen. So when I don't want to run this program on the IDE, and if I want to run it from the command line, so this line will is required, and it will help you a lot, or you in the sense it will help the computer system in identifying from where this program needs to be executed, or using what this program needs to be executed. So that is what it instructs to the computer or the operating system. So understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so first we'll try to understand the URL, okay, before going to the program. Say this is what. maps.google.com. So to locate something in my browser, I just have to open this maps.google.com. Okay, let me go there here. So maps dot google.com. It's still opening. I don't know why it's taking so much of time. So it's saying check your internet. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but I don't know why it is saying check your internet connection. Okay, let me. And the map is also getting loaded. I think I have very low internet speed. Okay, let me close this. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay, I have the Google Maps opened. Next, now I want to locate this place. What is that place is? San Francisco, CA. Okay. Where is it? So I think I add that address here. So it is a part of the URL. It's okay, no problem. Let me not take it from there. I'll go back and I'll take this. So I want to locate this. If you want, you can locate your own location itself. So why you want to locate San Francisco and some street in that? Where I have to go? Here. So search Google Maps and this. So map has gone very slow. Not able to search anything. Okay. So I pasted my address now. I'll just say search. Oh, very slow. Okay. Can you people see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think it is the Chrome problem. So try using Microsoft Edge. Just a minute, I'll try using Microsoft Edge. So maps.google.com. Okay, I have very slow network. Oh, it's opening. Okay, now I search for the street. I pasted it. Now let me search. Let me check what is the status here. Still searching. I'll close this one. No thanks. So it is located. Okay. So this is the street address you can see here. Okay. Now and if you look at the URL, the URL is also constructed. So whatever the address I gave, it is added as a part of the URL. Okay. And the same thing, you can also do it like this. Say just open Google Maps.com and then you place this address directly at the URL after the Google Maps. It will locate still. So that is what is written here. Okay. Now we'll try to do the same thing by writing our own Python script, which is going to do by taking the command line arguments. Okay. Now first thing we need to understand is how to make a Python script accept the command line arguments. Okay. So the name of the program is mapit.py. I'm importing web browser, and because I got to open the maps URL, right? So web browser is required, and then to accept the command line arguments we require the module sys. Okay. Now both of them are imported, and I'm checking. So I want this statement to be executed only if sys.argument count, length of the sys.argument count is greater than 1. So if you are giving only mapit and if you forget to give the address, so that means what, you are not given the address and there is nothing to get from the command line. There is no address to get from the command line. So that is the reason you are checking if length of sys.argv is greater than 1. Okay. If there are more than one argument, because the argument count is including the program name what we write. If it is more, if it is more than one argument, so then it is understood that you have given the address at the command line. So what we do? So and I hope this statement all of you are clear. So I'm excluding the program name, the first one. I'm leaving this first argument, the program name itself. Now I want to join all, because usually when you write something at the command line, they are separated by what? The spaces. Each thing what you write in the command line separated by a space is taken as a separate command line argument. But now I want my Python script to treat this whatever I have written, from this 870 till here, I want the Python program to treat it as one single argument. Okay. Now what I'm doing now here, I'm trying to join all these things by using space as the delimiter. So on the space delimiter, I'm just invoking the execution of the join and excluding this program name, go for joining and making it as one single string by using space as the delimiter, and that is assigned to address. OP people understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here, leaving this name, map it. So this entire thing, it is going to take. So each one is a separate argument. This is one argument, this is another argument. So command line, basically the space is used for considering them as a different command line argument. But now I want Python program to treat this entire thing as one single command line argument. Now how are we achieving that? By using this. So on the space we are calling join. So it will be joined and made as one single string. Okay. Next. Okay, and this is the explanation what I've written for the same thing. Here, what this length of sys.argv is doing. So it is just counting the total number of arguments, and if the total number of argument is just greater than 1, so what does it mean? You have given the address of the command line argument. Okay, and what this is doing, so we are chopping off the program name, and we are taking the rest all command line arguments, and we are making it as one single string by using the join method. Next. So this is what. So if you run the program by entering this into the command line, okay. So what this sys.argv variable will contain is the list of all these things. See, it has mapit.py as well, and it is the list of strings. I don't want it as a list of string. I just want it as one single string, not from here, from here. So from this 870 I want. So that is the reason we are writing it as this argv of 1 colon to the end, excluding this from 0th string, leaving out the 0th string from 1 till the end. So this things you have already understood in the list and even in the strings also. Okay. Next. Okay, the first part is clear now. How to read the command line arguments you understood. So the what you are seeing here is the one which is explained to you people just now. So if you are not giving the command line arguments, okay, go to the else part, and I want the address to be read from the clipboard. Say for example, I just do something. This is my address. I just say select it and copy. It goes to the clipboard. So and how do I get that? By using py per clip dot paste. Okay, and this is another module which you got to import. Okay, py per clip. Okay, so you can get the address which is there in the clipboard by using this module, and the method is paste. Okay, what it is going to do, so it will get the address which is there in the clipboard, and it's going to assign it to this variable address. So now I am calling open method, invoking the execution of open method which is available inside the web browser module, and what I am passing is, you can see here. So this is what I am passing: google.com map places plus address. The address, if I have given at the command line, it is coming from here. If I'm not given any command line argument, and if I have done it through the clipboard method, it is coming from here. OP people understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go for executing this program. Okay. Now I'm not using the Spider IDE for executing. Okay. So because this is an IDE, but I got to execute. I want to execute this program from the command line now, because I'll be giving the street address in the command line. Now for that, so I'm not executing it in a Windows environment. So I'm going for Fedora. So I've already kept it running. I have the virtual box. Fedora is running on the virtual box. Let me open it. Okay, all of you can see the Fedora 12 running. Can you see this?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Now, say I have already stored the program in Python programs. I have a folder with the name Python programs here. Okay, this is the folder. Okay, Python programs, and inside that I've already kept mapit.py. So let me open that and show you. Mapit.py. So same program which I explained to you people now. Okay. So here I've commented the else part, because first I want to try with the command line arguments, and later we will go with this part. Okay. So I've imported the web browser, and sys is imported, and then if length of sys.argument is greater than 1, address what I'm doing, I'm getting it from the command line, and everything I'm merging using space as the delimiter and building it as one single address, string address assigned to address, and then invoking the execution of open method which is available in the web browser module, and I'm passing this here. Let us go for executing this. Okay. Let me close this. Now here, now how do I run? So Python 3 I have to give. Okay, I am giving the name of the interpreter. Mapit is my program, mapit.py, and followed by this. Let me make it bigger. So, and followed by this, I have to give the address. Where is the address? Here is the address. Okay, let me copy this. Oh sorry. Let me do it again. So let me copy the address from here. So address is there in my PPT. Where is it? Here. From here. I've copied it. Now let me move back to the terminal. Let me paste it here. Okay. Now I'm going to press the enter key now. See what will happen. My Python, oh sorry, I've given it as gedit. So this is not gedit. Python 3, the interpreter. Now when I press enter, what will happen? So interpreter Python 3 will start executing my program mapit.py, and my mapit.py will go for reading all these command line arguments and then launch the web browser and open a specific URL called as maps.google.com with this address. Observe now. I'm done. So you can observe now. So the script is still running, and it will automatically launch the browser for you. See, the browser has started, and you can see the address. It has taken the address whatever we have appended to the URL, and it is locating the place for us. See, the place is located. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we'll try to do with the clipboard. Okay. Now I got to change my program now. So let me minimize this. I'll open the program. So it's still running. Yeah. This one, let me. Yeah, it is opened. Now the other thing which I need to import is the name of the module is this, py per clip. So I'm importing this, and then I'll go for uncommenting these things. Oh, is it fine? Yeah, it's fine now. I'll save the program. Now let me close this, and I'll close this also. I want to close it. Now what I'll do, now it was still running, I closed it. No, let me do Control Z. Okay, now let me copy this now. So copy. So in my okay, I've left this number. Copy. I have this in my clipboard now. I'll go for Python 3. I just give my program name mapit.py. I don't give the address now. I'm not giving the address. So if I give the address, it will go with the first case, if case. It will match there, and it will try to get the address from the command line and launch the browser and locate the location for you. Okay. Now I want to append it by using the clipboard. So since I've already copied it, this is there in the clipboard. Let me start running. Okay. Now it's saying no module named py per clip. Oh, I have to install this module. Now how to install? I have to use pip command, and then I have to go for installing. Okay. Sorry, no, this I could not demonstrate because this module is not available in my system. Okay. But you can always go for installing it. So how to install? You got to make use of the pip command, and then you can install. Okay, let us not worry about it. So OP people understood. Yes. Yeah. If this module is there, then so the moment when I write this interpreter and the name of the Python program, and if I click enter, so it will launch the browser, open the maps for you, and then it will take the content of the clipboard and attach it to the URL, and you can have again the place located for you. So now we'll again come back to the PPT. So the other part I could not show you because this module is not available. I don't know whether this is available in the IDE. Let me check here. So let me go for executing. Copy this. Okay. Let me copy the address first. I want it to take from the clipboard. I'll copy the address. Let me run this as a program. I'll save this as mapit.py. Okay. Now I have to copy again because I just copied this program. Now in the clipboard I'll be having this program. How to copy this? So I have this in the clipboard now. Now I'll go for running. So execute in current console. Okay, run. So if everything is working fine, the browser should launch now. Since we have not given any command line argument, okay. Oh, here also there is no module present. PyPerClip module is not there. If I install the PyPerClip module, then it works fine. Okay. So what it is saying is, so no module named PyPerClip. Okay, I think yeah. So you understood this. Now we'll just quickly go through this. Getting map with and without the mapit.py. So without using the mapit.py, what you do? Manually getting a map, highlight the address, copy the address. So select the address, copy the address, open the browser, go to the maps, click on the address text field, paste the address and press enter. This is what you got to do. So with the mapit.py, so using mapit.py, highlight the address, copy the address and run the mapit.py. So that's all. That means, so see how mapit.py makes this task less tedious. So this is a tedious thing and this is less tedious. Okay, and in the next class we'll try to understand how to download the files from the web with the request module. Okay, and again I'll check. I think I have the request module with me. So pip install request. So similarly I have to install this module, that PyPerClip.module. I'll install it and I'll try to run the second case in the next class at least and show you. Okay, well now we will, I think, end here. So I'll go for marking the attendance.